Hey everyone. Sorry it's been so long since I posted a video. I just got home. It's almost midnight here. I know it's been a while since I posted. Yes, I know the Jets lost to the Eagles, and Zach Wilson did have a great three first possessions of that game. But I skipped that video due to the stress of preparing to go to the Saints game. Um, to see the Jets in person. I'm from Tennessee, in case anyone's curious. Got that southern draw, if you know what I mean. But yeah, still a Jets fan. Has a long story behind it, but regardless, I'm here now. And yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video for you guys. I'm just kind of explaining my experience as a southerner, never going to New Jersey before, as well as the game itself. Just some details. So first and foremost, wow, New Jersey is nothing like I expected. Um, for one, you can't pump your own gas, and for those of us that live in 48 other states, that sounds crazy, especially whenever the systems that they use are the exact same as the ones we have. And the dude they had at one of the pumps didn't even put the dude at the beside us, the car beside us. There was an older gentleman that tried to pump his own gas, and the attendant stopped him and was like, no, I pump your gas. He's like, okay, whatever. He pumped his gas and did not put the door shut. He left the door wide open on the gas tank and left the little dial that you screw in, left that hanging down, dangling. So I just watched this man drive off with his door open on his gas tank as well as the thing dangling down. I'm like, wow. So you guys have a person that actually does your gas for you. That's laughable to me. I still can't even get behind that, but especially based on the stories of how that originated, um, all for money basically for the businesses that are up there. It was just crazy to me that they did that. Especially on top of that, they do toll roads up there. Now toll roads don't really benefit anyone except for, I guess, maybe if you have stocks and certain stocks and bonds. I don't know much about stocks. I'm a poor person like most of you guys watching these, but yeah, the tolls are only there for the stocks to help raise those prices. Crazy enough, but they don't really help the roads. They still look like trash. And I mean, the fact that they need a sign just to tell you not to make a left at a red light baffles me. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't really like New Jersey at all. People are all right, other than the fight that almost broke out in the seat right in front of us. New Jersey's a mess, man. It's a mess. Honestly, I feel bad for people in New Jersey. Almost made me not want to be a Jets fan. But at the end of the day, I love the Jets and huge fan of the team. And honest to goodness, I think Zach Wilson's a great kid. So I'm sticking as a fan. I'm staying with it for you guys. But after seeing New Jersey itself, I understand why the Jets have struggled for so long. Because I mean, there's a lot of messes there that need to be cleaned up other than just that organization. And if you guys want to pursue goals that want to help people, I would say help the people of New Jersey. Honestly, I kind of feel bad for the area, and I'm a Tennessean. We don't have great things. We don't even have legalized 420, if you know what I mean. But yeah, New Jersey's a rough place, and I do feel bad for some of the people that live up there. But talking about the Jets, sadly, we don't get to go into much positives. Saints clearly don't have a quarterback. Taysom Hill can run really, really well, but when he snaps the ball backwards behind himself, and I watched that in person right there, and it was just no. The Saints are going to be drafting somebody or trying to pick up a quarterback in free agency, but they don't have a quarterback right now. Maybe Jameis Winston, but even that I don't feel so confident in, especially based on the yards he was throwing for. I know he has a lot of touchdowns. I think it was like 12 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, which looks pretty on paper, but realistically, a lot of those were really short yardage stuff for Jameis. So personally, I don't really think the Saints quarterback of the future is on their team. So I think they're going to be doing something different in the offseason. And to see that team come in here and ravage us 30-9 and make it look like a blowout, like they're just way better, is ridiculous. That Saints team was trash. and the fact that they were able to just dismantle the Jets easily, that's embarrassing. Jets, once again, did not get into the end zone. Now, you could say it's on a lot of people, but honest to goodness, I think it's just on the simple fact the Jets don't have any elite players. I know Elijah Moore and Corey Davis missed this game. I know Michael Carter was out. Tevin Coleman, I believe, was also out. So I know a lot of the weapons around Zach Wilson were missing. But at the end of the day, there's just nothing on this team that like the Saints have Alvin Kamara that you can gravitate towards as fantasy football owners, as far as like fans of football even. Kamara worked his ass off. Pardon my language, but he worked really hard. He gained a lot of yards, and Taysom Hill, poor guy, couldn't really throw, especially with a banged up middle finger or index finger or something. He had something wrong with one of his fingers, but even still, he pushed through. He ran the ball. As far as the Jets' defense, we weren't prepared for the run at all for some reason, even though we knew that Kamara was coming back. We knew Taysom Hill's more of a runner than a passer, but yet we still get continuously beat on the run. With C.J. Mosley and the defensive line that we have, I don't really know where to go from there as far as the defense. Maybe we hope that we get a good defensive end in the draft. I know Aiden Hutchinson and Kadavion Kinlaw, or Kadavion Thibodeau, however you pronounce his name, the dude from Oregon that's a high-profile defensive end. Maybe one of those two fall to us at like 3 or 4. It's possible. I don't know for sure. Based on what I'm hearing, I'm thinking that the Lions and Texans are probably going to pick in front of us either way, and they're probably both going defensive end. So that may eat up both of those options. George Kalafis, or Kalafkas, however you pronounce his name, he's a good prospect from what I'm hearing, but we'll see how that goes. We still have 4 games left in the season before we really start talking too deeply into the draft, as well as all the bowl games for the college guys. So we'll see how things roll out for the draft itself. But as of right now, we're unable to stop the run on defense, point blank. Our secondary, as far as the safeties, they can't help in the run game much. Ashton Davis, Elijah, I forget his name. Elijah, that we have as a safety, neither one of them really can clean up any mistakes. They both just make mistakes on their own. Sometimes they can do their jobs, sometimes they can't. They may be good practice squad players, maybe. But as of right now, we don't have a starting safety on our team, so we're going to need a strong safety and a free safety at least. Whether that be through free agency or the draft. Maybe Kyle Hamilton falls to us in the draft. I don't know where it'll play out, but as of right now, we don't have 2 starting safeties. We don't have I don't really feel like we have good quality backup safeties. Safety positions ravaged. Quincy Williams is somebody I'd like to see continue to grow as Quentin Williams' brother. I'd kind of like to see the Williams brothers continue to grow, but otherwise, there's just nothing really on this defense. Point blank, if we were to take a look at what the Buccaneers are working with on defense, or any of the playoff teams for that matter, what they're working with on defense, if we were to say, hey, let's merge us with one of those teams, I don't think any of our 11 guys would be one of their starters, point blank. It's just rough. And it might not be the players, might be more the scheme, might be more the players than the scheme. It could be both. But at the end of the day, nobody's performing. I don't know if it's the coaching staff that's screwing up. I don't know if it's the players missing assignments. But at the end of the day, when you give a team that can't throw the ball forward 30 points, that's on you. You know they're going to run the ball, and that's how they scored all 3 of their touchdowns, was by running the ball. None of those were passes. Taysom Hill scored 2 on his own. Kamara scored 1. And then we allowed them to get into field goal range, I believe, 3 times for 9 points. Yeah, that's where the 30 points came from. So we can't stop the run at all, even if we know that they're going to run the ball on us. Kind of similar to the Bills situation against the Patriots the other day. We know they're going to run it, and we can't stop them. So that's just kind of one of those will versus skill versus will. I don't know where the issue's coming from, but I do know that it exists, and it's embarrassing. I spent a lot of money to go all the way up to New York for the first time to ever see a Jets game in person, and to see our defense just lay an egg like that, that was embarrassing. The offense, sadly, I can't say any positives. I don't know what Ty Johnson was doing to start the game. 3 passes, I believe, in a row almost. There may have been a couple of things in between, but like literally 3 passes bounced off his fingertips. I don't know if that dude's trying to miss passes. One of those, it almost looked like he was trying to flick it backwards over his shoulder, like he was trying to flick it to the defense for an interception. Like I don't know if that dude's whose team he's even on. Like Ty Johnson, I thought was a good player up until this game, but it almost looked like he was trying to throw Zach Wilson under the bus for some reason. Why? I don't know. I don't know. If anything, I thought this was kind of going to be a little bit of his show-out game per se, but he didn't show anything but that he doesn't need to be on this team next year, in my opinion. Like, I mean, that was bad football he was doing. I mean, I get that maybe Zach Wilson hit him on the wrong shoulder, hit him on the wrong thing, but they hit him in the hands. At the end of the day, you get paid money to catch the ball out of the backfield as a professional running back, and if they hit you in the hands, you better catch it, or at least try. And the fact of the matter is that didn't happen. The other thing is having Zach Wilson throw the ball over 40 times in this game, ridiculous. I don't care if we're pulling a dude that just signed with the team yesterday. Let's have him run the ball. Like, we've got to incorporate the run. That's the only way this team's going to be successful is if we remain semi-balanced, especially without having Elijah Moore or Corey Davis in the lineup, just asking him to throw it 40-plus times. I mean, not only are you putting a lot of pressure on him, and I get it. Zach Wilson threw at least 3, 4, maybe 5 passes straight in the dirt. Like, I don't know what he was aiming at. I don't know if he was throwing it away. I don't know if he was thought the receiver was going to dive at it. I don't know what he was doing, but the ball went straight in the dirt, and it looked embarrassing. I mean, flat out embarrassing. Like, especially against a bad team to just not have anything go successfully. And I believe the cherry on top is for the poor Jets fans that stayed till the very last moments of the game, the Jets actually had the ball right there near the goal line. And lo and behold, what'd they do? Not score the touchdown. So, point blank, if it came down to that, if somehow Zach Wilson and the Jets somehow had a close, tight game versus the Saints, and all we needed to do was score a touchdown right there to win it or tie the game, nope, that wasn't going to happen. The Jets couldn't even pull that play off, and they were down by 3 touchdowns, I believe, at that point. Yeah, 3 touchdowns at that point. Just embarrassing. I mean, I don't really know the building blocks. I don't want to give up on Zach just yet. I kind of want to see how the next year plays out, per se. But I think the only way this team has any kind of chance of even kind of being competitive is we go heavy in the offseason. We've got to go after guys like Devontae Adams. I don't want to hear about Chris Godwin until Devontae Adams himself has turned us down. I don't want to hear about all this other BS until we've gone after J.C. Jackson, until we've gone after Stephon Gilmore. Like, we've got to go after some of these big-name free agencies. Like, we can't just keep saying we're building for the future. We've got young guys in place. Yes, I get we have young guys playing in those positions, but those young guys are not succeeding in those positions. They're not even competitive. And most of them don't even look like they belong as the backups, but more like on a practice squad or out of the league selling insurance. Like, you can't say that we're building them just because they're in the starting lineup. That doesn't make them good just because they're starters, per se. That just makes them all we have literally on the team. So what we need to start seeing is guys, even if they're young, performing well. If they're older, especially performing well. Or otherwise, we need to be moving off guys and worrying about the present. I want to worry about what this team is doing today. I don't really care about all this growth and development that we're doing whenever I look 2 years back in the past and all the guys that we were trying to develop then are not on the roster anymore. Heck, even last year we were talking about how Denzel Mims could be a key piece of this offense going forward, and yet on Sunday when he was playing against the Saints, he had 2 penalties called on him in a row, and next thing we know he's sitting on the bench. I don't even think Denzel Mims is on the team next year. Mekhi Becton, after a 4 to 6 week injury, misses the entire season, for all I care. I mean, he may come back a game or 2, possibly. We don't even know for sure. But, like, the 2020 draft is a bust. The 2021 draft is all starting right now, but we don't even know if any of them should be. As I said earlier, if we got to combine our team with a playoff team, most of these guys wouldn't be starting. Heck, if we had to combine all the players, most of these guys wouldn't be on the team. And I'm talking about our starters, much less our backups. So there's just not really a lot on this team. I would say our only hope is spending money like crazy because, I mean, it is in New Jersey, New York area. We have a lot of money. Let's spend it. Let's go get a Devontae Adams. Let's go get a J.C. Jackson at corner. Let's go get some elite playmakers, and let's try to win next year because at the end of the day, I'm done rebuilding. We rebuilt for 3 years with Sam Darnold. We rebuilt all year this year with Zach Wilson. And the prior 2 years before that, we had, I can't even remember his name, Josh McCown at quarterback. I think that was 2017. Yeah, that was the year that we were not able to get our second-round pick onto the field at all. We had Bryce Petty playing because we were so afraid to see Christian Hackenberg even hit the field. In 2016, Ryan Fitzpatrick's down year, nothing. 2015, I'm not even proud of because we missed the playoffs against the Bills. So at the end of the day, for the last decade plus, this team has been trash. Ever since 2011 or so, this team has not been able to get in the playoffs. And other than like a 2015 here or there, we've not even been fucking competitive. And it's ridiculous. So hopefully Woody Johnson sees this video, maybe Joe Douglas, maybe Robert Saleh. But at the end of the day, this team needs to be not just better, but way better. Our expectation can't be to be competitive with the Saints. We need to beat the Saints when they don't have a quarterback. We need to beat the Jaguars. We need to beat the Dolphins. We need to beat bad teams easily. It's bad enough that the fans are willing to settle for competitive, but when we can't even be competitive with bad football teams, that's when we need to put our foot down and say this team's garbage, like straight trash. There's nothing positive to take away from the Jets-Saints game. Yeah, Zach Wilson didn't throw an interception. Whoop-de-doo-dah. Yeah, we kicked the ball off on time. Whoop-de-doo-dah. Why don't we start scoring some touchdowns, stopping the other team from doing the same? And whenever we as fans know what the other team's most dangerous weapons are, then we need to start being able to shut that stuff down. We shouldn't say going into this game, Kamara and Hill are going to run the ball a lot and probably be the only ones to score touchdowns, and then watch them be the only ones to score touchdowns and then win the game because of them. We shouldn't see that as fans. If we know that's what the other team's doing, we should be able to stop it. If we as fans can comprehend that much, the coaching staff, the players should be aware of those same situations and be able to stop it. And if they can't, they shouldn't be on the team. We should be replacing them for better players, better coaches. Because if we're willing to accept that, then we're never going to win a game in this league. We may beat the Texans. We may beat the Jaguars of this year. We may beat the Browns of 2016 or whenever it was they went winless. But we're never going to get into playoffs, and we're never going to be looked upon as an even okay franchise. Like the Broncos get more respect than we do, and they're getting beat down and have no quarterback on that roster. And that's embarrassing to me. The fact that we have no shot at the playoffs, already eliminated, we have 4 games left, and that most of us are doubting our quarterback's success. I'm not saying that we're all ready to give up on him and draft a quarterback in the 2022 draft, but I am saying that if he has another season like he did this year, the end of next year, everyone will be thinking the exact same thing, and I don't even think it's the quarterback. The receivers suck, running backs suck, line sucks, quarterback position so far has sucked. Defense, whole thing, garbage. Probably the worst defense I've actually ever seen with my own eyes. I've never seen this defense average over 40 points per game. I mean, hell, they gave the Saints 30 points that they never would have deserved. Any other team playing the Saints team would have maybe given up 14, 17 points, if that. Our team gives up 30 at home to a dome team. Just ridiculous. God, I'm so frustrated. But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter remains. Still a Jets fan, still love this team in my heart, and I want to see them succeed. So please, start having some respect inside of that building. Start looking at that stadium and saying, this is a hell of a nice stadium, And for us to be able to play in it, we need to perform better. And have some respect for yourselves. I mean, Keelan Cole, Jamison Crowder, Braxton Berrios, that's 3 receivers people talk about being NFL receivers. I know they're not anyone's number 1 guy. I get that. But a lot of teams' number 3 are slot receivers, quite possibly. And the fact of the matter that we couldn't make anything happen with those guys at all, not even 1 touchdown, that's embarrassing. I mean, really, really it is. I knew the Saints had a great defense coming in, and I get that. I get it. They have a good defense. But at the end of the day, when you're hitting your receivers in the hands, or you're throwing the ball in the dirt in front of an open receiver, or you're getting a stupid penalty that you shouldn't be, that's on you guys. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You could be playing the Patriots. You guys could be playing the Jags. But if you're doing those things, you're not going to win a game against anyone. Heck, you could be playing a high school team, and they're going to beat you if you're getting constant penalties, throwing the ball in the dirt, and missing wide open receivers. And the wide open receivers that get the ball, letting it flip off their fingertips and land on the ground. Like, you're not beating anybody doing that. You're just embarrassing yourselves and looking like a bunch of clowns out there. So I think you guys need to get it straight. We as fans need to be patient, as hard as that is to say, because we've been patient for 10 plus years and seen no results from being patient. But realistically, that's the only thing we can do. And we just need to hope that Joe Douglas is smart enough to know what he's doing with this great draft capital he's going to get. Because regardless of where the Seahawks end up, even if they make the playoffs, which I'm a little afraid of as of right now, and that would really push that draft pick way on down the board, which would be super unfortunate. But either way, I think the Jets are locked into a top 5 pick of their own pick. And as long as we can make good moves with these 2 first-rounders, these 2 second-rounders, our 3rd rounder, and then we have 2 fourths. So we have a lot of draft capital. Maybe we move it into next year a little bit. Maybe we spend on premium players this year. But whatever we do with it, we need to make sure that it counts as an impact, not just for the future, but that we're making an impact in the 2022 season. That's what we need to do. We need to be rooting that the 2022 season is getting great free agents, that it's getting great draft picks, and that we're not hoping for next year all year during 2022 like we were in 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, and 2016. We need to hope that we're rooting for the year that we're in, because I'm tired of rooting for next year, rooting for draft capital and hope of a future quarterback, or hope of a first-round pick, or the top overall pick, or hope that the guy that we have will just magically develop. I'm done with hope. I want to see results. I want to see us win. I don't care how we win. If we run the ball 400 times like the Patriots do, and the quarterback throws it only 3 times. If we're winning the game at the end of the day, I don't really care. I just want to start seeing wins. That's what I care about. And as Jets fans, I think that's what we all care about, is respect and wins. So, as always, love you guys. Sorry for waiting so long to make this video. I just wanted to make sure I got back from my trip first. But as always, Jets, 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 baby.